Hi, I wanted to do a little video along with what I had to include from my artifacts. So the first artifact I used, I wanted to talk about the PLCs and our academic data for the state agency schools. So um, a little bit about where my background is, the state agency schools, and then I run Home of the Innocents and Ackerley. So what I wanted to make sure I showed proof in my expertise and my experience is in PLCs. I just wanted to make sure I talked a little bit about our growth in this. I thought it was really important, and we worked really hard as a group. So we have state agency wide, and we have individual PLCs, and I'm going to get to that on my next artifact. So we focused on PLCs in the school to understand the purpose and the systems to improve them, and we wanted to make sure that we were including our 6 systems in our pillars, and we continue to improve every single year. So what we wanted to do this year was focus on a stronger system for how we set up our PLCs, and as a result, I saw a lot of grade level content, some good common formative assessments, and some relevant topics and materials with that. And I included links so just to show evidence of the dates and times in our framework. And within that, we focused on making sure that each PLC deconstructed their standards. And so they dug really deep into that standard and understand what it was, vocabulary, prior knowledge, and everything that they would need to teach that standard and do it well. Then they developed units of study based off of that. Then a common formative assessment. And so each one of my teachers was in a different state agency wide PLC. So they would turn them into me. We would review them, and we talk about how they, how they did or what they have. And then, of course, the art tool was connected to that PLC, and then it was an obligation. So I have a certification, and I have an LBD, and I am highly qualified in biology prior to becoming an AP. So I was the facilitator for the high school science PLC. And so in here, it's just a simple link of evidence to show you my contribution to that PLC and kind of what we worked on as that specific one. So making connections to the pillars, I felt like they were all connected to all of the 3 pillars. So obviously racial equity, we wanted to make sure that our framework materials and resources were all equitable, and making sure that all students were utilized and had access to assessments, and that they were also looking, the data was disaggregated and all of that. And then they used the R tool to make sure that that was that we were being relevant and looking at our practices and making sure that we were being culturally relevant instructors. And then culture and climate. This was something in PLCs that we really wanted to work on, is changing the mindset and teaching them really how to do them. And they're really difficult to do PLCs in the state agency world because we have every school is almost a singleton. And when they come together, all the science teachers, high school science teachers, it's still very different in what that looks like. So really, really focusing on what PLC is, deconstructing standards, making sure that we're hitting those essential skills. So that overall was a culture and climate impact on our setting. And then the last thing was backpack success skills. So obviously in the PLCs, we were digging deeper in standards. We were looking for project-based learnings, some good assessments, and that could be added to their backpacks for that. And then our 6 systems, I chose 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1 obviously is our standard and curriculum. So the first one is, digging deep into those standards and deconstructing them. We had a set system that was in place, and we had clear defined actions that were necessary, that we gave grade level opportunity. We really focused on acceleration and digging deep into that standard. So effective use of data. So every school also, we took our assessment data, we monitored it, we disaggregated it and discussed that. So we would do that. And then on system 3, it was a collaborative process, which is all the PLCs. So this is where we really got into the grunt work of the PLCs, understanding the framework, looking for a variety of assessments, because it was our racial equity goal. We wanted to make sure that we had multiple opportunities for students, using the R tool. And we believe the importance of critical thinking skills. So using Think Circa and DBQs. And then, of course, that backpack, making those connections to the backpack success skills. And then lastly, the progress monitoring. So we're looking at student work, analyzing it. I think that's an area of growth really for us on that one. Thanks. That's all I have for that one.